Hi there, and welcome to today's business success conversation with me, Michael Carthy from Carthy Accountants, helping you get the business you want. Today, I'm once again joined by Lucy, Edith, and Adam, our team of client relationship managers at Carthy Accountants. And today, we're going to be talking about business plans, why it's really important for your business to have a business plan, and the pitfalls of not following a business plan, which we know is not the thing to do. So team, today we're talking about business plans. Now, as you will all know, I find it incredibly important that all businesses have business plans. To not have a plan is just absolutely ridiculous. You wouldn't go on holiday and just find the first plane you get on, see where it lands and go, oh yeah, we'll do this. You plan what you're going to do. And by planning, we hopefully achieve certain goals. So for me, it's about achieving business goals, which in turn leads to personal goals. Because for me, everything is about business owners don't work just so they can get a business. They work because they want that business to achieve their goals in their personal life. So, I'm incredibly passionate about business plans. I instill it onto all of you, which you talk to clients about all the time. Adam, you probably have the most dealings with clients on business plans. How easy do you find it is to persuade a client that they really should have a business plan?
Surprisingly, incredibly easy, because the majority of businesses don't have these plans in place. You can have a product, a service, and you think, yep, great, I've got a business here, I can make money from it. And you can go so far, but ultimately, what is the point of running that business? And if you don't scale it back to step one and lay out the roadmap, as we call it, the plan, then what's the point? So surprisingly, when I'm talking to clients, you gave us the statistic on business owners that don't use an accountant. Well, I would wager the percentage of business owners without business plans is higher. With no goal direction, these businesses are aimless.
Yeah, I mean, we say without it. I think what we need to be clear here is the difference between having a plan and having a written down business plan that we can follow. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, my plans are here. Until we've got it down on paper.
And more importantly, that they're actually looking at it and it's not just stuck on a wall gathering dust and being ignored. So when you ask them if you've got a business plan, I'll occasionally get, yeah. I was like, and when did you last look at it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And when have you last judged your progression to it?
Yeah. So when I'm talking to clients that don't have one or have it up in their head, what I'm saying to them is getting it into a structure, a written form. It's a living document, so it's not a concrete thing that you'll do once at the start of your business journey and then let it gather dust. It's something you revisit maybe every 90 days, once a year, whatever time frame you want to work towards goals. But it's something that you're constantly updating. It's an area, a space that all your thoughts, all your goals and the direction of the business is all in one place, and it's there. Then it's accessible. And it's malleable.
I'd go as far as saying it's a daily, look at it daily. The fact is, every decision you make within your business has to align with your vision, values, and business plan. Because if it doesn't, you're not doing something that fits in. As an accountancy firm, I could suddenly decide, right, we're going to start selling Verve Clique. How that would fit anywhere within my business plan, I don't know. Might want to give it away to myself, but I'm not going to sell it. But the fact is, you should be looking at it on a daily basis and knowing that you are following it. In terms of starting a business plan, you all know where I like to start, which is going into personal goals. The fact is, as a business owner, we need personal goals to know how the business needs to perform in order to provide for our personal goals. Because if your personal goal is to go on 10 exotic holidays a year, you need a business that can fund that lifestyle, a business that has enough team members to keep the business going while you're there, while you're not there, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think a business plan provides a structure and the framework to help guide any business decision made. So, as a business owner, when you've got a choice to make, you can ask yourself, does this align to the vision for my business? And a business plan is that space to have that thought. It's the often work on the business, not in the business.
And I think what's really important to say is, we obviously offer support with people's business plans, and actually having that, friendly critical eye, I would call it, of being our job is to question why. But even if you choose not to do it with anyone, just get an A4 piece of paper and write down, people think business plan is the 40-page document you give to the bank when you want to borrow money. A business plan can be as simple as, point 1, I would like to make X amount of profit. Now, bearing in mind, people would normally say, I want to turn over, but let's remember, turnover vanity, profit sanity. I want to make this amount of profit. I want to achieve this amount of new clients because I know that's what I need for this, which means monthly we need to do this. We then pull them off into our KPIs. So we know at the end of each month, if we haven't signed on 5 new clients, we're not hitting the targets we need to hit, etc., etc. Obviously, other things within the business plan, you look at your marketing activity. So it's all well and good saying, and I mean, I'm terrible for this when, a local theatre company will come to me and say, can you put an advert in something because of my background? And I'll be like, yeah, okay, no worries. Whereas the business plan says we're focusing on social media, marketing, social media, this, and this. So I was to get the frown off Tessa saying, well, why are we doing that? That's not in the business plan. We have a business plan. We should be looking at it, okay, daily might be excessive, but weekly, or when we're making big decisions.
Yeah.
So when we're making decisions about our marketing spend, let's look at what's in the business plan. And if our plan is to engage with upcoming entrepreneurs who are looking at social media, and we've come up with our avatar and that's who we're targeting, there's no point putting an advert in the Express and Star because that's not who's going to be reading that sort of thing. So when we're making any decisions about the business, we need to be looking back at that business plan and ensuring that we are following what we've decided upon. Yes, as a business owner, we can change what we decide upon and change what we write down. But when we change it, we have to remember back to why we wrote it in the first place. Because it's all well and good saying I want to make X amount of profit, but then go out and buy a brand new piece of equipment that completely wipes that profit out. You're not going to achieve that profit. You're not going to be able to take the money that you want to take to go on the holidays that you want to go on.
I think it's important for the business plans is there to offer clarity, because it's so easy when you're in the middle of actually doing the work to forget what your goal is, because you're going in, day out, just trying to run that business and get it working, and you're not working on the business. And that's where business plans are really useful to hold you accountable to yourself.
I think it's really important to mention, I'm full of anecdotes, but the fact is it's working on the business, not in the business. And the fact is, if you are constantly working in the business and you don't have time to work on the business, you're just not going to succeed how you want to succeed. I mean, I know when Carthy Accountants started with Dad back in 2001, he did the typical business owners thing, which was he spent the first 6 months going out and getting business, the next 6 months doing the work, and after that 12 months he had nothing to do because he was either working on it or in it. And it's really important that you have the backup there, whether that's let's say you're a consultant, you need to put the time in to work on the business. So you need to allow so much time to work on it rather than in it. Or if you're a scalable business, you need to make sure you have the staffing in place to be able to work on that business, have time to step out. I mean, we encourage people greatly when we're working on them on business plans to come into our office. It gets them out of their office environment where they're not sat in front of their computer. They haven't got their mobile phone ringing. I mean, look at me, a business owner. If you really want the best of me, you get me out of my office because if I'm not looking you in the eyes, I'm doing something on my computer. So, the fact is for us, let's get them out of their environment into, we've got lovely offices, a nice working environment for them to come and join in.
It's important for the business plan as well to be there for the team, not just the business owner director, because then the team are aligned. They all know what they're working towards.
No, I think you're exactly right there, Lucy. I think the fact is, once you've got your business plan, you have to push it out. The expression everyone should be on the same page is perfect. Everyone needs to row in the same direction. By, we have a team day every year where once I've come up with a business plan, we sit down and we roll it out to the team. So what you have to do within that is, this is the focus for the year. I go back to Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't do everything in 1 year. So pick 3 or 5 things that are going to go onto your business plan. So this year we will concentrate on client retention. And then we look at those and we break it down into how we're going to do that. The next point is we're going to look at sorting out this process, not just processes, this particular process. So for us, it could be onboarding clients. How are we going to make it even more efficient to onboard clients? So I absolutely get that, Lucy. It's a really valid point.
I think I find with a lot of our clients, I talk to them and ask them, have they got a business plan? And frequently they'll say no, they haven't, or that it's in their head. And for a lot of them, I'll ask, well, why don't you have one? And they just find it really overwhelming. They don't know how to structure it into manageable points. And I know that's what you're great at doing, Adam, isn't it? Is helping them structure that.
Yeah, it is really stripping it back to the very beginning of why you're running a business. What are you trying to achieve? And then looking at your internal processes. And basically, I always liken a business plan to a rudder on a ship. You set the trajectory or you change the angle slightly, and the ship 1,000 miles later is going to go in a completely different direction or end in a different port to where you've intended it to be. But always remembering where you started off the journey, and then angling every so often to a new course with the goal of where you're going to get. That's ultimately what a business plan is. And it's not just the business owner, it's the team, the business on a whole.
I think the fact is a business plan starts with goals. Without goals, you have nowhere to aim for.
100%.
The goals lead to the strategies, and you put the financials in as well. Yeah. And that is your business plan. Once we know those 3 things are in place, we know we have a way that we can go, which is just incredibly important. It's a roadmap. Essentially, you could do it like a roadmap, and these are my achievements. And I'll be honest, there are very few businesses we work with who have a business plan that don't succeed because they know where they're going. The other thing we must remember, they have to be realistic and achievable, because it's all well and good going, right, last year I made £12,000. This year I'm going to make £1 million. If you've got the right strategies and it's realistic, great. But, we have to be realistic about it and think that, we have to have data behind our decisions. And again, using an accountant, fantastic way of getting that data. Without a business plan, without that roadmap, you really don't know where you're going. So I know I do it quite often, but Lucy, go on, give us the most important thing about a business plan.
I think the most important thing about a business plan is starting with your personal goals and ensuring the business plan gets you there effectively.
Great. Edith?
For me, the most important thing about a business plan is holding yourself accountable to it. Make sure you're monitoring every decision you're making is aligning with that business plan. And if it's not, why isn't it?
And for me, it's helping clients understand it's not a scary process. It's stripping things back, and it is building something new, and building something that you can be proud of, you can work towards. It's constantly evolving, and it aligns to how you want to run your business.
I think I'm very similar to Edith here in the fact is the most important thing for a business plan is to follow it. Don't let it sit on a shelf getting dusty, which is why I say a piece of paper you can stick on the wall is perfect. It doesn't have to be that 40-page document that you have to flick through to find things. Obviously, if anyone is interested in business plans, even if they just want, an example, a 1-page example, please get in touch so that we can send it through to them, which would be absolutely perfect. But yeah, business plans, so important. Thank you very much, everyone, for talking to me today. It's been great to hear your knowledge and insight. And thank you to everybody for listening to the Business Success Conversation with Carthy Accountants, helping you get the business you want. Like, follow and subscribe for more information and details, or get in touch with us via the website. I've been Michael Carthy. See you soon.